Hi, sixth grade trombones. This is Mr. Y, obviously. I'm going to walk you through the finals for the year. The finals of this year are in the EE book, number 55, Essential Elements Quiz, 67, 74, and then 107, the chromatic scale. Remember, 107 does have to be memorized, but it's pretty easy, actually, on the trombone, so I don't think you'll have any problem. Starting with number 55, the Essential Elements Quiz. Lots of 16th notes in this one, nothing too hard, just groups of 4 16th notes. There are a couple of accents, too. Be careful. Make sure you play those notes just a little bit louder. It's the last 3 notes on the first line, the last 3 B flats on the first line, and then the first note on the second line, the E flat, first note in the second measure on the second line, that's the C, and then there's one little accent also in the very last measure, the F, right before the very end of the song. So those notes, remember, should be just a little bit louder. Now the whole song is forte, so it's all pretty darn loud, but just punch those notes, those accented notes just a little bit more. So at the beginning, you're going to find your B flat. This one is in the key signature of 4th grade, of course, B flat concert major. So this one's pretty easy in terms of that. 2, 3. One. What's really hard about 16th notes is really not the 16th notes, it's really the stupid quarter notes. So make sure when you have the quarter notes, especially when you have the quarter rests on the second line, that you give them enough time. Remember, each quarter note is 1 beat. Each 16th note is only a quarter of a beat, really. So ta 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 ta. Those quarter notes feel very long when you get there. Okay. Moving on to number 67, scale study. This one starts low A flat. Remember, low A flat is 3rd position. That's where your bar is just about even with your bell here. And in this song, of course, you've got 4 flats: B flat, E flat, A flat, 3rd position, and then also D flat. D flat is the 4th note up. Remember, the 4th note is the tricky one here. So you've got A flat in 3rd, then you've got B flat in 1st, then you've got C in 6th, way out, of course, and then for D flat, you're just going to move up just a little bit, just 1 position. It's just a little bit beyond 4th. Okay, 5th is right there. It sounds like that. If you do have a tuner or access to an internet tuner at home, you may want to check that note just against your tuner to make sure it's there. It's going to say, the tuner's going to say either D flat or C sharp, it could say too, of course, because those are the same 2 notes. So, make sure you don't go too high for that D. It's not a D, it's a D flat. You can see how far off my slide is right there. D would be in 4th position, D flat is in 5th. Okay, so make sure you make a big difference there. Again, on the second line, we get into some 16th notes, but nothing too serious here. Really, what you got to remember is the low A flat's 3rd, the high A flat is also 3rd, and then the D flat is 5th. Other than that, this one should be pretty much a piece of cake. Here we go. Lots of big air for that big sound. Again, nothing too hard there as long as you remember the correct notes there. Again, lots of big air for that nice big sound. Okay, moving on to 74, Essential Elements Quiz. This one also has A flats in it and D flats, same key signature as the last one, still based on the key of A flat. So remember, your A's are going to be 3rd position, right, even with the bell, and your D's are going to be 5th position, not 4th like regular D, but D flat is 5th. Okay. You may want to tune up your D flat before you start just to get it really good. On this one, it's forte on the first line. Nice big air for that one, of course. There are a couple of accents scattered throughout here. There's one in the very last note of the first line. Actually, I think that's the only accent in the whole song. Yes, it is. That's the one little accent in the whole song. So when you get to the end of that line, you're going to punch that last note just a little extra hard. Then the second line's mezzo piano, so you come down quite a bit on that one. In the last measure, you'll see there's a crescendo that comes back up because there's a DC Al fine at the end, which means you're going to go back and play the whole first line again at a forte volume. So, forte for the first line, drop it down to mezzo piano for the second line, and then back to forte for the first line. And then at the end of the first line is the fine, that's where it stops. Okay? Here we go. Again, punch in that last note just a little bit. That's got an accent on it. You'll notice the dynamic change I did. Again, write notes and everything. This one's not going to be a problem, really, I don't think. Okay, and last but not least is number 107, chromatic scale. This one actually is fairly easy for the trombone because all you have to do is come up one position every time and know when to switch, of course. Starts out with the B flat, of course. That's in first position. Now, this is probably going to be the trickiest one right here. The B natural is in 7th position, just a little bit beyond the bump of the trombone. You can see where the trombone gets just a little bit bigger right there. It's just a little bit beyond that, and you'll be able to hear the note. If you go to your tuner, you'll be able to tell. It's just half a step up from the B flat, da, 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 da. If you want to think Jaws, da, 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 da. That's how you can tell it's there. Okay. After the B natural, it gets back into regular notes. So you've got B flat, B natural, 7th position. Then C, regular 6th. C sharp, of course, is going to be in 5th, just like the D flat that we talked about before. Okay. The D is in 4th. The D sharp is the same as E flat in 3rd. Okay. The E natural is in 2nd. And then the F's in 1st. So all you're doing is 1st for the B flat, then you go out to 7th, and you come in one position at a time, all the way up to the F. Okay. Then from the F sharp, you got to go to 5th position. That's where F sharp is. So it's out here. Okay, just a little bit beyond 4th again, remember. Then after the F sharp comes G in 4th, and G sharp, same as A flat in 3rd. Then we have A, and then we have B flat up on top. And that's the whole chromatic scale. Then for coming back down, all you do is do the same thing backwards. You got B flat, A flat, G, G flat in 5th. Then you come back to 1st for F, then 2nd for E, natural, 3rd for E flat, 4th for D, 5th for D flat, 6th for C, and then remember 7th for that B natural again, and then you're back to the low B flat, first position. Okay. Like I said, once you know where to start, and if you can get a nice big sound on all these and get them really in tune, you can use a tuner if you have one, or if you have access to the internet tuner. That's a really good way to really get those positions exactly in the right place. And when people ask you how you play the trombone, tell them you have to be a genius to play the trombone. Shh, you don't really, but keep it mum. Keep it with us, okay? Here we go. And back down. There are no dynamics on this one, so make sure you play it with a nice big sound all the time. I would just go for forte just to make sure you get that really big sound. Okay, good luck on the quizzes. If you have any questions, see me in class, or you can drop me an email. I'll be glad to help you out. Good luck.